Eddie, it'll be all right. Pull yourself together.
I suggest nobody else goes down there. We should keep the room intact until the police can get here.
I shall alert them first thing in the morning. What an unfortunate accident.
An accident? You think so? Just after the madman's son turned up at our door.
And yet you were the one standing over her body with blood on your hands.
How dare you? I was too late. I was trying to help her. She...
There, my sweet boy. Let's get you to bed. Angus, would you?
Of course, ma'am.
I think we will all benefit from a good night's sleep.
I know you may have no reason to, but I need you to trust me. I'm the only one on your side when it comes to your father's death.
Lady Margaret certainly isn't. But if I told you what I saw in the chapel, you'd have me in a padded cell, just like my father. Why did you come here? To make sure my father was successfully in the ground?
With all due respect, Mr. Gordon, I will not allow you to speak to me or about my work in such a tone. I tried everything I could to aid your father. Your father was heavily drugged when he was brought to me, to prevent any further violent outburst, or so Lady Margaret had said. But something felt wrong, even then.
So, what was my father like when you locked him up?
I didn't just lock him up. I tried to help him. He was convinced he was carrying some ancient curse, that he was being haunted by evil. I wish I had reached him, had been able to reach him.
Maybe if I threw you a bone, you'd get off my back. He used to babble about a dark force threatening him and our family.
Was that why he moved you to India? To remove himself from this place?
I believe so.
And yet here you are, in the very place he sought to protect you from.
Who knows? Maybe there is an ancient evil in this place. An evil that drags us back no matter how far away we get. Even from the other side of the world. Father was obsessed with the history of the family for as long as I can remember.
Did your father actually believe his family was out to get him?
Who knows? Though I think what really scared him was beyond the physical.
And what do you think? Was your father right? Are there things beyond the physical?
He was a disturbed man. He saw things that weren't there. Things like a drowning woman floating in thin air. If you really want to help me, then let us find out what the maid knew. She was hiding something, but was too scared of Angus and Margaret to tell me.
You think whatever she wanted to confide might be connected to her death?
Maybe. Whatever I saw in the chapel, it has to be real. It has to be. A woman must have drowned herself in the loch. Because if it's all in my mind, like father, like son.
We need to examine the maid's body in the cellar.
To find out who killed her?
To be sure she was murdered before we start pointing fingers. We need to...
To find out who killed her?
To be sure...
Angus will have the key. Unless we can find another way in.
What is it?
I'll get you back.
Stop monkeying around. Come with me.
I'll come inside in a bit.
Don't go.
Can I just have a few
It's
more
not a request, Carol.
Don't worry. I'll be fine.
What's happening to me?
David? Is everything all right?
We should make haste.
We need to examine them
To find...
to be sure.
Nobody in this house is particularly chatty. Not even when I have an actual question for them. Maybe...
Oh, stunning. How curious. Come and look at this. Look, they form a clear circle.
This can't be a fluke.
Well, looks like one of the stones is missing.
A heavy enough stone to weigh yourself down with. Something's carved into each one. I've never seen a rose like this before.
I have. The gardener, Rory. He brought some down from the glass house.
That's an unusual-looking rose. I noticed one lying by the side of the loch.
Aye, that's been me. A flower for the flower of Scahandu, Cecilia.
My aunt? They're for her?
I grew 'em for her. She loved the roses, did Cecilia. No the red ones, though. Made her think of blood, ye ken.
Forgive me, but wouldn't it be more fitting to place them on her grave?
Why, she's no there, is she, laddie? That's not where she rests. And I don't much stand by your modern god.
Rory, what happened to her? What happened to Cecilia?
I'm not in the mood to open old wounds, laddie.
There are some strange markings carved into the stones on the shore.
Runes, aye. I'm old-fashioned, I suppose. Still hold to the old ways.
Superstitions don't gain validity just by being believed in for a long time.
I'd watch that. Your precious science doesn't have all the answers, lassie.
May I have some of the roses, Rory? I'd like to place them on Cecilia's grave.
What's she to you? You didn't ken her?
No, I didn't. But she's family. And besides, Father always spoke fondly of her. He would even smile as he talked about playing in the gardens with her as a child.
He did he? Aye, well, that's good to ken. I should have some left in the glass house.
I'll speak to you later, Rory.
Aye, I'm sure you will, laddie.
We need to examine
To find out...
to be sure.
Sorry, lassie, but you can't go in. It's for family only.
Just hold on a moment.
No, it's okay. I quite understand. You go ahead, and I'll wait here for you, if I must.
Aye, you must. I know, it doesn't look like I have green fingers.
These are... dead as dodos.
Hard to raise anything beautiful here, ever since Cecilia's gone. Looking to break some more locks, laddie.
Are these...
Aye, Cecilia's roses.
they're beautiful.
I like to think so.
But they seem to be the only thing that grows here. Can you tell me about Cecilia? What was she like?
She was a lovely lassie, but she had more than her share of troubles.
Grandfather Edward.
You ken well enough, son.
You said she wasn't in her grave.
Aye, that I did.
Did she drown?
She did. Killed herself. Her body was never found. Now all I have of her is my memories. And they are not what they were. And this.
That is exquisite. Cecilia made this.
She made it, aye. For me. Girl must have cut her fingers 100 times doing it. On the thorns, ye ken.
You are unworthy of the name Gordon.
Get away from her, you coward!
The saboteurs Edward used. They ended up in this corner.
You monster!
Who is that old woman? It takes courage to confront Edward like that.
They lied to me.
Who did?
All of them.
What just happened?
I could ask you the same thing. You started to talk to yourself. And then you were throwing your arms about like you were fighting something. I couldn't see what. You started bawling and the lassie came in to see what was going on. She tried to settle you, but you just went for her.
I saw an old lady. She wore a long, flowing dress. Her voice was strong, determined.
Sounds like Rosemary. She was Lady Margaret's mother.
Was Cecilia not able to have children? Did that anger Grandfather Edward?
Maybe you can see well enough too, son. Maybe you can. It wasn't her, it was her husband. He was the bother. Couldn't, you ken?
I think so, yes.
Aye, well, Edward blamed Cecilia for it, for picking the wrong man for her mate. You'll be fine, laddie. You just need some fresh air. This place can get to ye.
The secateurs should be... Here they are. How could I know? This seems awfully accurate for a forgotten memory. The crack is right there. Edward was furious. Seems like him and great-grandmother Rose didn't see eye to eye.
Trust your instincts, laddie.
David, are you all right?
Am I all right? I should be asking you. I'm so sorry I hurt you. I don't know what happened.
Don't worry. I faced much worse in the asylum.
She's tough. I don't think it's possible to face her. Sorry again.
Maybe don't leave me outside like a naughty puppy next time.
Yes, quite. I think that Edward may be responsible for the death of my Aunt Cecilia. Not directly. She drowned herself in the loch. I think that Edward drove her to it.
Old families usually have a skeleton or two in the cupboard.
Yes, but my family has a graveyard full. I feel like the madness that runs through this family, through these walls, is starting to seep into me too.
I can help you, but you need to open up. You need to start talking to me.
You would not believe me if I told you.
Stubborn, just like your father.
Whatever secret this family is hiding, it's costing lives. Cecilia, the maid, my father. God knows how many more over the years.
We need to examine the maid's body. We need to
To find out who killed her?
to be sure she was...
If you'd just like to wait out here, sir.
I need to speak with Eddie.
The young master and her ladyship are otherwise detained.
Might as well try moving a mountain out of the way. Fair enough. There's no doubt about his loyalty. Mr. McKinnon, Angus, may I have the key to the cellar?
You may not, sir. As Mr. Harrison said, it will remain locked until the police arrive.
That's a fair point. I'm just concerned that some of the game in the cellar may have been caught illegally, poached by young Eddie there.
Well,
I'd be happy to get rid of the evidence. The owners of the land may take legal action over Eddie's trespassing.
then it's fortunate we have Master Andrew here.
For Eddie to be found poaching on another family's estate could prove embarrassing.
You're barely part of this family, but you have a point.
I'm the new owner of the estate. I worry what people will say about it. About the family.
I think the dead maid will have them chatting already.
I do, and I don't think Lady Margaret would take kindly to any such embarrassment.
Upon reflection, removing the evidence may be the best course of action. Here you are, sir.
There's no doubt. Nobody in this house is particularly chatty. Good thing I found that map. He would have never given up the cellar key otherwise.
Her neck's been broken, and with some considerable force, it seems. Her necklace looks like gold, albeit a plain design. And it's missing any form of pendant.
Still, well beyond a maid's salary. It...
Where's that sudden draft coming from?
No, not exactly the usual way to address the staff.
Mr. Gordon? Speak to me, please.
We're all here, sir. All down in the dark. Something's coming. The attic, sir. She's in the attic.
What just happened? You look like you were in some kind of trance.
Perhaps the lack of sleep is affecting me. Or the visions that you'd think me insane if I described them to you.
I know you're holding out on me. I am on your side, remember? I thought I'd proven that to you already.
Perhaps I'm misjudging her.
Your father wouldn't speak to me either. Please let me help you.
Or not. I'm not a patient. I'm not a madman. The scene really did rip when she tried to get away from him.
Ugh, that's horrible.
You're not the one with your hand in it. French. I don't speak French.
I do. It says for Clara, forever yours. Who's Clara?
I don't know. Yet another relative, perhaps?
We should ask someone who's been around here for longer. How did you know it was there? The pendant, I mean.
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me. A hunch. Eddie gave this to her. We should ask him to his face just what his relationship was with her.
This isn't another ghost story, is it?
Look, you wouldn't understand. I can't...
What I do understand is that we cannot accuse a man of murder without proof.
They seem to be a house full of carnivores. The maid could never have afforded this. This is a trinket of the rich, not a servant. The maid could never have afforded this. This is a trinket of the rich, not a servant.